Hey, Patrick here from Pizza Rosmarino. Today we're going to be making sun-dried tomato pesto, which is an absolutely delicious and fast recipe to make. As a matter of fact, it may take longer for you to watch this video than it does to actually make it. So let's go ahead and let's get cracking. For ingredients, you are going to need 1 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, and if you want to get some of the oil that's in the jar that goes along with it, that would be great. Half cup of toasted nuts. You can use pine nuts, but I can never really bring myself to spend the money on pine nuts. You can also use toasted walnuts. I loved toasted pistachios, and whenever I have a recipe that requires nuts, I always use toasted pistachios, and they're just such a lovely color and taste. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of finely ground cheese, or grated I should say. You can use Parmesan, you can use pecorino-romano, either one will be just fine. You will need 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You'll need 1 clove of chopped garlic. I actually have 2 in here because they were small. You're going to need 1 cup of fresh basil, and then finally, to taste, you're going to need some salt. And if you want to add pepper, you can also add pepper, and actually you can add anything you want because this is going to be your recipe. All right, let's go ahead and let's get on to the next stage. Okay, so we've got the food processor out, and I'm going to feed the ingredients in, but just one thing, don't put the cheese in. The cheese is the last thing basically that you put in, and you're gonna, for the most part, mix that in with the spatula. You don't want to heat the cheese too much, through the process of using the food processor. So let's go ahead and let's dump in our 1 cup of sun-dried tomatoes and our 1/2 cup of, I'm going to be using pistachios. Let's go ahead and put in our basil. Okay, our 1 clove of chopped garlic. All right, so 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, so we'll leave the cheese and the seasoning till the end. So let's go ahead here and get our top on, and we're going to pulse. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, colors are fantastic. I think I am going to add just a little bit more olive oil here. It all depends on how basically thick you want it when you're using it, when you're eating it. I like it a little bit thicker when I'm putting it on bread, like focaccia, but I like it a little bit thinner when I am putting it on pasta. All right, let's have a look here. Okay, that's looking great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead here and put in a 1/2 teaspoon of just regular table salt, nothing fancy. And I can always add more later, but I'm thinking that this is probably going to be good. All right, so I'll get that folded in a little bit. And now let's go ahead and let's add the cheese. And this we will just stir in with our spatula. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and take the blades out of here. It's going to make it a little bit easier for me to mix this up. Okay, looking great. Now we will go ahead and put it in our container. Okay, this can go in the fridge and should be kept in the fridge. It can also be frozen. The moment of truth. Okay, a little bit of linguine, a little bit of pesto, a little bit of basil leaf. Absolutely delicious. Enjoy.